A stat. This is one of the questions that I didn't get a chance to ask. Lina and Tusk, the most picked pairing, TI, 27 times with a record of 15 and 12.
I think a lot of it.
This job is easy. What?
It comes from LGD.
Oh yeah.
They pick it a lot in the group and the main stage games.
It's super strong.
I'm waiting for the American sports analogy.
If you think about football, XXX, something about football. That's Nahaz. That's as good as I can do. Sorry, Nahaz. I'll practice it.
At least you didn't call it American football.
What did I call it?
You called it just regular football.
Well, he wouldn't call it American football. I don't think I've ever met an American that calls football American football, but they should. Because we all know what real football is, Paul, right? This end of the desk?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Although I have to say I kind of like the NFL.
Don't bail on it. Back me up.
Sorry.
He wants to get away from here alive. That's why.
The Magnus.
Oh, man.
So they have the RP and the song combination now, and if Rubik gets a good AoE steal as well, they can pull some nice combos here.
It's only the 7th pick at TI5 for Magnus.
It also suggests that there's going to be a melee carry coming out from Virtus.pro. If we assume it's going to be a support Naga and Rubik, then they're still looking for one carry or a mid laner. If
I think carry is much more possible for melee hero to come out right now, I feel.
Sven? Could be Sven, maybe.
Slot, we've seen Slot today. Slot is really good with Magnus, and if you look at their lineup,
Medusa, man.
Medusa.
And I mean, Illidan loves to play Slark, and with Empower, you can make so much happen. You can farm faster and get your item progression, and when Slark gets a few items, he just demolishes teams.
Yeah, and you usually say that Slot is weak against a lot of AoE, but this game they have Silencer, so when he goes in, he has that backup.
Yeah, I can bail him out.
So he doesn't have to worry, he can play very aggressive and just go in with the global silence, helping him out all the time.
That's some like dirty team fights if you think about it. If they pick Slark, they have the song, the silence, and then you have the Slark ulti as well. He would be so hard to bring down. All right.
That's really difficult for VP to deal with, because she doesn't get affected really by global at all. She can just kill you through it easily.
She is great against every single hero that's picked on Virtus.pro. Best one is like Rubik. You can stop her a little bit.
20th time of picking at TI5, and so far with a 63.2% win rate.
Not bad. Impressive hero, would you say?
Well, a small sample size.
I mean, it takes the player, right?
So do you go for a melee carry now, or do you dump Silencer in the safe lane and go for something that can actually counter TA? Because Silencer does... We've seen it, I think actually VP plays Silencer versus TA. It was like okay, but Sumil ended up destroying them at the end. So I don't know how willing they are to put that matchup in the mid.
I mean, Silencer is not terrible against TA mid. You can definitely play that if you want. Oh!
Come on, guys. Come on. Come on.
That what?
Medusa.
We have another
maximum respect.
A first-time pick at TI5 as well. That's another one. 2 games in a row now. The pool is shrinking. There are only 19 heroes left in the pool that have not played at least one game.
You guys didn't even let me talk about it. Shame on you.
We'll get more afterwards.
I'll high-five you in the break.
Let's head down to the commentary team. The game number 1.
That's right, another elimination match on our hands. Virtus.pro facing up against Team Secret, who are supposed to be the favorites of this tournament, are now seeing their tournament lives on hand against VP. Blitz, you had a lot to say about this draft, starting off with the Lina carry. You had this one from the get-go. In the first 1-2, you said this is either a Lina support or a Lina safe lane farmer. Why is that?
Sorry, I saw some sign.
Don't get distracted by the memes.
It's all good, dude. All right, so I think part of what makes Lina such a strong opener instead of Queen of Pain is that you can run her in pretty much any lane. Like, you can run her as a carry, a support. I think it's just one of the most safe openers that you can go for. And I feel like S4 was going to play it almost guaranteed, just because once the Queen of Pain is banned, I feel like those are the 2 heroes that he's most comfortable with at this point. Playing the Queen of Pain in the carry role, playing the Lina. They just want him to play the playmaker role more than the actual one-position hard carry like Arteezy will play. Like, even though Arteezy's in this mid lane, he's the true carry.
Right, it harkens back to the old Evil Geniuses when Arteezy was playing there, being the carry mid. It seems that's going to continue here with Team Secret. But what about this last pick from Virtus.pro, the Medusa? Hero we haven't seen hardly at all in this patch. Why is this our last pick?
I think in this game in particular, you have a lot of different ways to defend her. It's a silencer who will be playing in the mid lane, so he'll get level 6 relatively early, and he'll get a good amount of farm, but they have a lot of different ways to protect the Medusa. This is a hero that toe-to-toe can stand up against pretty much anybody on Secret. It's going to be incredibly hard for them to burst her down, even with the Luna Aghanim Scepter, and so I think it just works incredibly well for their draft.
Yeah, certainly a big late game advantage to Virtus Pro, so Team Secret are going to have to play this a lot more aggressively, perhaps more aggressively than they're used to. You can see already S4 getting some free shots against DK Phobos. He does secure the bounty rune, and so too does God grab the bounty rune for his silencer. So VP already with a great start there, especially with Lil doing some body blocking. What about this mid matchup? Templar Assassin versus Silencer. Is this going to be like a couple levels in Curse of the Silent just to try and put some pressure on that refraction?
I don't think so. You can grab 1 or 2 levels, but I just feel like maxing the Glaives of Wisdom is so strong, which he's going to go for right now. The attack speed on Silencer is actually quite good, but G's got to be careful because the Earthshaker is going to be there with the stun, and it's a pretty okay matchup as long as you don't overextend. You can go for the last word. What he's doing right now is really smart. He's just right-clicking RTZ non-stop because RTZ actually went for the Wraith Band, meaning that he's got 3 refraction charges by my count. Like, he can use it 3 times, and if he just gets zoned out like this and you pull creep aggro correctly, the TA actually can't stand in the lane. Yeah, especially now with Curse of the Silent taking away more of those refractions. Soon as he sees the refraction popped, he immediately uses that Curse of the Silent to put more pressure on RTZ, especially since he's not going to be getting that quick bottle, at least not fast enough. He will run out of those charges, and G may be able to take control of this lane. Now, let's talk about some of our other off lanes, such as DK Phobos, who has to use the Skewer to be able to get away from the Tuscalina combination at bottom. It seems like a very kill-heavy combo between these two. DK Phobos is going to have to play this a bit careful. I actually think this is a lane he's going to do okay in, or at least get levels, because when you're playing a core Lina, especially in the short lane, the weakness is you either go for the CS or your last hitting, right, or you're right-clicking him, and most of the time you're just going to be playing the CS deny game, which he's doing right now. And DK Phobos, as long as he only approaches when he has mana for Skewer and the cooldown off, he should be perfectly fine. All he has to do is make sure he stays ahead of the Snowball and ahead of the Ice Shards. If he can't get the Skewer off, he'll easily be chain stunned down and perhaps may end up dying. Zai, meanwhile, is going to be our other offlaner. He's going to be playing the Darkseer, just picking up the Banner Rune at the top lane. He's going up against the Dusa, Lil's Rubik, as well as FNG's Naga Siren. Now, this is another one of those safe laners, despite the fact that it is a hard carry. Oh God, it's going to be not quite caught out. The Ice Shards and Fisher combination doesn't block him in, and he will be able to escape and continue his pressure immediately onto RTZ. But going back to it, a safe laner who is actually self-sufficient. After a certain amount of time, you can afford to leave the Medusa alone in a lane against a Darkseer. Yeah, she can pretty much zone him out. The build that he's going for is that Mystic State really strongly, and so he should be able to kill the Ion Shell creep really easily. Right now, what causes me concern for Secret more than anything is this mid lane, where G, I mean, Silencer's a hero that just naturally dominates the lane. You can't really go up against him toe-to-toe, and one of the weaknesses of TA is that she does a good job CSing, but it's really hard to pressure with her pre-level 6, and you're seeing that right now because he's pretty much just spamming to keep her out of the lane. And this is not something you want if you're Team Secret. Like, I'm used to seeing RTZ pretty much dominate the mid matchup, or at least win heavily in CS. Yeah, he's actually being forced to do a little bit of neutraling. Now, he does have the hard camp that's stacked up a couple times, and that will be a good way for him to come back into the game. But for now, hold up, Snowball, DK Phobos, Fisher, Light Striker rank, Wills land, and DK Phobos is not going to be able to get the Skewer in time. S4 picks up the first blood. Yeah, they just played the spacing game perfectly there. Puppy with a really nice fissure, and Secret set that up really well, but this is a lane that you expect for them to get a kill here. Yeah, absolutely. DK Phobos, as you said, should be able to get a decent amount of experience and maybe even some CS via the Shockwave, but it's just the triple stun lane that's tough for any offlaner. RTZ now comes back with full HP, full mana, and then is immediately rebuffed by G. Already being brought down to below half HP and is rapidly running out of tangos. Yeah, and this is no longer a matchup, I think, where they can gank for him anymore, or it doesn't really matter if they gank him because he has boots. This is going to be incredibly hard to kill him, and they might actually just make an attempt for him here mid. Yeah, slowing him down. To the last word. This might actually just kill him. One more hit. Yeah, they're going to slow him down with the last word. A couple more right clicks. G, it is nighttime, making it a lot harder. He's going to live with 49 HP. Now G, he's in some serious trouble. Kuro actually picks up some illusions. G turns around trying to go for RTZ, but he pops a refraction, and G will end up going down.
Silencer just getting a bit too aggressive, searching for that kill on Artur. It would have been a big boon for VP's laning phase if they'd gotten that kill, but the result is Secret are able to sneak in with their supports and get the counter kill.
I think in some ways that just goes to show how much respect they have for RTZ, because that dive was probably not going to be successful in any case.
Right.
You can dance around the tree line at nighttime. The Silencer doesn't have the best way to spot you. Both of his spells were on CD, but he dove it so hard because there was a chance of killing him. And the TP support is there. Enough people come in and they were able to kill him, but this is still a lane that G is doing fine in. The TA isn't dominating, and she struggled pretty hard. She still doesn't have boots yet, fully completes the magic wand before anything, and this is going to be a really crucial stack for her. This should be her level 6, and from here on out, you can finally see TA start to pressure the Silencer.
Yeah, finally with being able to have the traps, you have kill potential solo against the Silencer. Just lay down 1 or 2 traps. This, of course, means it's a little bit important for VP to either always have a support behind G, or even laying down an early counter ward, just to make sure the middle lane is cleared of those pesky traps. But while RTZ is farming up that hard camp, we've got Kuro, who's now going to take over the middle lane, getting that free experience. And our Magnus, DK Phobos, is actually just now heading back to lane. Comparing him as well as the offlaner Zai, he's level 4 and Zai is only level 3. Even when VP have rotated their supports into the middle lane, Zai is still not catching up to the Magnus.
It's just one of those lanes where he can't really afford to come up because Lil is just going to give him the right click, right click, right click. So he just has to stand back, spam Ion Shell pretty much, hope that the lane pushes up. I'd actually kind of like to see him just go to the jungle. Because he's not really pressuring the Medusa too much here. Like, she's perfectly fine when it comes to HP. She's got phase boots now too. Level 4 Mystic Snake. It's going to be really, really, really hard for him to pressure him at all. So I think it's more important that Zai actually starts to get some amount of farm. But the reason he can't go there is because RTZ just cleared out most of the jungle camps.
Now here's a big advantage, especially with the change-up of some of the neutrals, such as Mud Golems now having a mana pool. You can easily clear through stacks with Mystic Stake, because most of these neutrals do have a mana pool you're going to be able to leech from. You can just constantly spam this out over and over again. So Illidan is going to spend some time clearing through both this medium camp as well as the hard camp that's available to him, and leave the top lane to DK Phobos, who's going to need some gold. Just getting the experience by itself is not good enough. You really need that Blink Dagger on a max.
Yeah, RTZ, even with all those stacks, is still only level 6. Whereas if you look at G, he is level 7, and I think the last time they played Silencer mid, he actually didn't get a lot of farmer levels, which is pretty typical of a Silencer mid. The weakness of the lane is just that it's incredibly easy to die. Almost any dive kills you.
Right.
So you need to have a really good start, but RTZ might just pick up Illidan here. And
no, they're going to go for Lil instead, it looks like. They still have the 2-man smoke. They're going to come over. He's
got a global
there as well. They're going to go for G. We'll be able to catch him out. The burst damage isn't quite there. He's going to be able to get away thanks to the telekinesis of Lil. Now S4 is going to have their turnaround with a global silence. They pick up the free intelligence. And now RTZ, well, he's stuck in a bad, bad place here. He's got the TP, but can he actually get out of this situation? It's all 5 of VP running him down, and RTZ is definitely dead. +4 intelligence already for the Silencer.
And this is so significant. These are the 2 cores from Secret that invaded so far into VP's jungle. So it costs VP almost nothing, no time at all. They'll just go back to their fountain. It's a really short trip. They can heal up, where Secret lose a lot out of that. Like the fact that S4 was pretty much free farming at bottom, and then he commits to that, and they don't even get a kill. And the other thing is, you just fed 4 intelligence away to the Silencer at the same time. And TA especially can't afford to do that.
Right, she's incredibly dependent on the very limited mana pool that she has, so losing some of that intelligence, it's going to be difficult. Artur pushing forward, trying to catch a beautiful Ice Shards. God, in some serious trouble, doesn't have the global silence and will just be burst down. In fact, VP even canceling the